Your lawn isn't failing because of the heat. It's failing because of what you're doing while it's hot. Right now, underneath the surface, something is happening that most homeowners never notice until it's too late. One habit on this list feels responsible, almost caring, and it's exactly what's starving the roots. Another one looks harmless for weeks, then shows up all at once as a dead patch you can't explain. And by the end of this video, you'll understand the one moment where doing nothing is actually the smartest move you can make. Stick around because the biggest mistake is the one almost nobody sees coming. It starts with something as simple as mowing. Cutting the grass short feels productive. Less to trim, tidier yard done for the week. But here is what's actually happening the moment those blades disappear. Grass is shade. Remove it and bare soil is suddenly exposed to direct sun for hours at a time. That soil can heat up far beyond the air temperature around it, almost like asphalt in a parking lot. And just below that overheated surface are the roots, the exact part of the plant you can't afford to stress in summer. So the roots start drying out. The plant panics and shifts into survival mode. Weeds notice the opportunity before you do, because bare, hot soil is exactly what they're waiting for. Give it 2 or 3 weeks, and what looked like a clean cut turns into thinning patches you can't explain. The fix is almost too simple. Raise the mower deck to 3 or 4 inches. Taller grass shades its own roots like a built-in umbrella for the soil underneath. But there's a rule that matters more than the height itself. Never take off more than 1/3 of the blade in one pass. Chop 6 inches down to 2, and that shock alone can set your lawn back for weeks. Which brings up the next habit, one that feels even more responsible than mowing and does almost the same damage. Watering every single day feels like the caring thing to do. More water, healthier lawn, right? Unfortunately, that's not how grass actually works. Light daily watering only ever soaks the top 1 or 2 inches of soil. And roots are smart. They grow toward wherever the moisture already is. So instead of digging deep, they stay shallow right near the surface, right where the heat hits hardest. The moment you skip a day or a heat wave rolls in, those shallow roots are the first thing to dry out. It's the plant equivalent of only ever practicing in ideal conditions, then collapsing the second things get hard. What the grass actually needs is a deep soak once or twice a week, not a splash every day. That pushes water 6 to 8 inches down, training roots to grow deeper in search of it. Want to know if it worked? Push a screwdriver into the soil after watering. Slides in easily, you're deep enough. Stops halfway, you're not. But there's another reason this backfires, and it has nothing to do with how much water you're using. It's about when you're using it. Water at midday, and a huge share of it evaporates before it ever reaches the roots. You're basically watering the air. Water at night, because it's convenient after work, and the grass stays wet for hours while you sleep. That damp, warm environment is exactly what fungal disease is waiting for. It's one of the biggest triggers for the brown patch problem people panic about later in the season. The window that actually works is early morning, somewhere between 5 and 9. The soil has time to absorb it, and the blades dry out fully before nightfall. Small change, big difference. So far, these habits are quietly weakening the lawn. But the next one can do visible damage in a matter of days, and thousands of people do it with good intentions every single July. Here is the one that surprises people most. Your lawn looks pale, so the instinct is to feed it. That feels like help. It's actually the opposite. Fertilizer's entire job is to force fast new growth. But fast growth demands energy and cool temperatures, and in the middle of a heat wave, your lawn has neither to spare. Picture asking someone already overheated and exhausted to suddenly sprint. Their body doesn't have the resources for that, no matter how much you want them to perform. Grass reacts the same way. Instead of turning greener, it burns at the tips and edges right when it needed to be conserving what little energy it had left. The pale, slightly dull color you're seeing isn't failure. It's the plant protecting itself on purpose. The smarter move is to let it rest and save the fertilizer for late summer once the real heat has broken. And that's not the only habit that seems generous, but actually works against the lawn. There's one more, and it happens every single time you mow. After mowing, most people bag every clipping to keep things looking clean. That sounds harmless until you realize what you're actually throwing away. Those clippings are free mulch. Left on the lawn, they shade the soil and slowly feed nutrients back in as they break down. You're paying to remove something that was quietly helping you. The only time to actually collect them is if they're long and clumping into thick piles, in which case, just mow again a few days later to break them up. Now here's a bigger one. It's tempting to get ahead of the season. The thatching, aerating, overseeding, all while the weather's nice enough to work outside. But your lawn is already running on a limited energy budget in July. Disturbing it now when it has almost nothing left to recover with does more harm than good. Seeds planted into hot July soil barely stand a chance anyway. Those jobs work dramatically better once the soil actually cools down in early fall. Which leads to the moment almost everyone gets wrong, the one that decides whether your lawn bounces back or doesn't. Grass turns brown and the instinct kicks in immediately. Fix it now, water it more, feed it, reseed it, anything to undo the damage. Here's the part that surprises a lot of people. Brown doesn't always mean dead. Most of the time, it means dormant. The plant has deliberately shut down growth above ground to protect the roots below it. A survival response, not a failure. And this is where good intentions cause the most damage of the entire video. Overwatering a dormant lawn, piling on fertilizer, or reseeding immediately can actually interfere with that survival process instead of helping it. What dormant grass actually needs is a light watering, just enough to keep the roots alive, nothing more. Once temperatures finally drop, most established lawns green back up completely on their own. The repair work, the overseeding, the aeration, all of it belongs in early fall when the grass is finally ready to use it. 7 habits. Most of them cost nothing to fix. Mow taller. Water deep instead of daily. Water in the morning. Hold off on fertilizer during the worst heat. Leave the clippings down. Save the fall jobs for fall. And if it turns brown, let it rest before you touch it. So which one were you doing without realizing it?